welcome back to my YouTube channel. To all my new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. And to my day one subscribers, welcome back. I am finally back with a new video, a highly anticipated one, I'm sure. So let's get started. Okay, so it was recommended in the comment section that I give some advice on do's and don'ts when it comes to building a house in Liberia. So half of today's video is going to be about that, me just talking and giving some tips, advice. Hopefully that can help somebody down the road. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with do's, things that you should do when building a house in Liberia, because fortunately I don't have too many don'ts. But my first don't ties into my first do, if that makes any kind of sense. So I feel like it would be better if we start with things that you should do and then go on to things that you shouldn't do. So, okay, so my first do when it comes to building a house in Liberia is to be on ground. Do be on ground if you plan on building a house in Liberia. But if you're like me and for whatever reason cannot be on ground and you need to partner with somebody that's there to help you out with the process, do it. But please make sure it's somebody that you know and trust, and I emphasize trust. Because for me, my parents are the one overseeing everything. My mom, my dad are overseeing everything. And they're even trying to eat my eye. So my own parents are trying to eat my eye. So I can't imagine other people that you really don't know, that you put your trust in and something goes wrong. Because I've heard too many stories of people trusting somebody else on ground to help them build whatever, and that person would take pictures of somebody else's house near to the person abroad and say, oh yeah, it's your house. You come to no house, no land, no nothing. So please, if you're going to do this, please make sure you be on ground. But if you can't be on ground, make sure you partner with somebody that you know and trust. Okay, and my second dues would be to make sure you have a storage location. And what I mean by that is, for instance, let's say the workers can't start building the ceiling until all the materials is there. So as you send money weekly, every 2 weeks, or however, until you have all the materials, you'll need somewhere to store it. So you can either ask to store it where you are buying the materials from, have them hold onto it until you have everything you need, or you can store it at a neighbor's house who have 5 different locks, or you can store it at your house if you have 5 different locks. But just make sure you have a secure location. The house that we are currently building, I've heard stories of people trying to climb the roof to see whatever's in there to steal it. So security, security, security. Liberia is a poor country. Do anything to survive. So be careful. Okay. My third do would be to make sure you set a budget. Don't be like me. Don't be a fool going in thinking, oh, Liberia is a third world country. I can build a house for 14K, which is what I was thinking. And now look at me. I'm laughing at myself because I've passed 14K. I'm looking at 30K plus, 30,000 plus for this house. So please don't be me. Go in with common sense. Go in being smart. Do not be like me. I repeat, don't be like me. It's not going to cost you 14K to build a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in Liberia. You'll be a fool thinking that. Set a budget. Set a budget. Set a reasonable budget. But also on the flip side, don't set a budget, and I'll explain what I mean by that later on. Okay, and my fourth do is to make sure you select your land carefully. If you plan on building a land, buying a land, whatever the case might be, make sure you select a good land. Because for me, if you go back to the part 1 of building a house in Liberia, you will notice that they were putting concrete into the ground, because unfortunately the location we selected is more of a swamp ground, meaning it can sink at any time. So we had to make the ground concrete before we can start building on it, because it's on a slight hill. So if you're going to choose the land, choose carefully. Don't rush it. So my fifth and final advice would be to think long term. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're picking a land. Make sure it's a land that you see yourself being at for a long time. Or when it comes to picking a material, make sure it's a material that can withstand heavier rain. Don't get so rusty so quick, or can stop locusts from coming to your house. And make sure you think long term when it comes to building a house in Liberia. Just, yeah, things might be easier this way right now, but what about long term? Just think that way, and hopefully things will work out. that's it for my do's. On to my don'ts. Okay. So like I stated earlier, my first don't ties into my first do. When you are doing this and you cannot be on ground, I emphasize once again, please pick a partner that you know and trust. My partners, I know them, but I no longer trust them. They have lied to me so many times. I don't even know what's true anymore. So please pick somebody that you know and trust, because there's nothing you can do. They're going to do what they want to do anyways and can tell you they're doing what you asked them to do, but they're really not. So, with that being said, do not offer to cook for your worker as part of the payment. It is very unprofessional. It is very village-like. It is very Liberian. Just don't do it. Just pay them how much you know you'll decide on, and let it be that. And this is not at all on the workers. They are very professional and good at what they do. The guy who did the roof is a local Ghanaian contractor, and the guy who's doing the foundation and everything else is a local Liberian contractor. So this is not at all on them. This is all on my country chicken parents. My, you know how they say you can take the person out of the hood, but you can take the hood out of the person. That's them. You can take them out of the village, but you can take the village out of them. That's who they are. So I don't know who idea it was. I know with Corona going on right now, the price of rice has went up. Gas is non-existent in Liberia. So all of that, I understand it, but it's like you just don't do that. You like no. So my last don't would be to not set a budget. And if you remember earlier in my dues, I said set a budget, but don't set a budget, and this is what I mean by that. Don't set a budget, because when it comes to building a house, let your imagination run wild. Whatever it is you want to do it. Because you're currently in the construction phase. That's the best time to do whatever it is you want to do, instead of having to bust it down later on to build whatever it is that you want to build. Just go ahead and do it. A Palawa house, for instance, was not on our to-do list for this house, but now we're getting one. A design for the ceiling was not on the list, but now it's getting done. So all of those things, you want to do it, do it. And also, back to partners again. Whether you want it, you don't want it, they want it, they're gonna get it, because guess what? You, like I said, you're not on ground to say, oh, let me see the receipts, how much this one costs. They want something, they tell you, oh, I want this. You say no, they'll say, okay, what the roof you want? Now I told you 4,000, it's now 5,000, because guess what? That extra 1,000 is gonna be for that Palawa house. That ceiling is gonna be for whatever. So pick a good partner. I'm not gonna let them see this video. So do not hold back your ideas. Whatever it is that you want to add to the house, go ahead and add it now. It's better to add it as it's being built. So set a budget, but don't set a budget, because dream big. Hopefully it won't be too long before y'all see me again. I am in the process of preparing a barrel to ship back home. So hopefully I can get that video to you guys sometime soon. I know they say consistency should be a thing on YouTube, but listen, when you see me, okay? Here. And when you don't see me, just know I'm here, okay? And I will come eventually. So that's it. Inshallah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.
Acecape, all of you doing for me, I swear you will not regret. All of you doing for me, all of you doing for me, mama, I swear you will not regret. All of you doing for me, DJ Tyler Freddy, mama, feeling the fever. Your love is strong, like ginger. Mama, feeling the fever. It's strong, like ginger. Mama, feeling the fever. Your love is strong, like ginger. Mama, feeling the fever. It's strong, like ginger. I'm doing a song for mama, for mama, for mama. What I will be for mama, for mama, for mama. The man I will try it for mama, for mama, for mama. The car I will buy it for mama, for mama. For someone beat me like you can go for me. For Papa first, like you can make it for me. That play the thing there, you not too for me. I can't talk all anything I want for you. Against that law you gave me, anything like you want me to. Mama, so I will do it for you. Thank you for looking at me, thank you for making me somebody. Thank you for praying for me, so Baba God can get me long life. I'm doing a song for mama, for mama, for mama. Because I will be for mama, for mama, for mama. Mama, I Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Mama, I Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Soon the morning you will call me. You prepare me to go to school. After school I eat my walking. Then you teach me to tie my shoe. My friend is showing me Baba too. You always tell me my son be cool. And if he say you fret by me, I'm my old man will make me fret. Church of Poland, we always talk. Because I doing it for my mama. It's a Poland, we always talk. Because I spending it on my mama. Church of Poland, we always talk. Because I doing it for my mama. It's a Poland, we always talk. Because I spending it on my mama. All of you doing for me, I swear you will not regret. All of you doing for me, all of you doing for me, mama, I swear you will not regret. All of you doing for me, mama, I'm feeling the fever. Your love is stronger than ginger. Mama, I'm feeling the fever. It's stronger than ginger. Mama, I'm feeling the fever. Your love is stronger than ginger. Mama, I'm feeling the fever. It's stronger than ginger. I'm doing a song for mama, for mama, for mama. Because I will be for mama, for mama, for mama. The man I will try it for mama, for mama, for mama. The car I will buy it for mama, for mama, for mama. Mama, I buy Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Mama, I buy Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Escape, all of you doing for me. I swear you will not regret. All of you doing for me. All of you doing for me. Mama, I swear you will not regret. All of you doing for me. Mama, I'm feeling the fever. Your love is stronger than ginger. Mama, I'm feeling the fever. It's stronger than ginger. Mama, I'm feeling the fever. Your love is stronger than ginger. Mama, I'm feeling the fever. It's stronger than ginger. I'm doing a song for mama, for mama, for mama. Because I will be for mama, for mama, for mama. The man I will try it for mama, for mama, for mama. The car I will buy it for mama, for mama, for mama. Mama, I buy Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Mama, I buy Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Baba, go well, like you can be there for me. For someone beat me, like you can go for me. For Papa first, like you can make it for me. That play the thing there, you not too for me. I can't talk all anything I want for you. Against that law you gave me, anything like you want me to. Mama, so I will do it for you. Thank you for looking at me, thank you for making me somebody. Thank you for praying for me, so Baba God can get me long life. I'm doing a song for mama, for mama, for mama. Because I will be for mama, for mama, for mama. Mama, I buy Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Mama, I buy Bugatti, Bugatti. I swear I fight. Soon the morning you will call me. You prepare me to go to school. After school I eat my walking. Then you teach me to tie my shoe. My friend is showing me Baba too. You always tell me my son be cool. And if he say you fret by me, I'm my old man will make me fret. Church of Poland, we always talk. Because I doing it for my mama. It's a Poland, we always talk. Because I spending it on my mama. Church of Poland, I doing it for mama. Pizza calling it, we always talk. About spending it on mama. All of these doing for me. I swear you will not regret. All of these doing for me. All of these doing for me. Mama, I swear you will not regret. All of these doing for me. Mama, feeling the fever. Your love is stronger than ginger. Mama, feeling the fever. It's stronger than ginger. Mama, feeling the fever. Your love is stronger than ginger. Mama, feeling the fever. It's stronger than ginger. I'm doing a song for mama, for mama, for mama. Because I will be for mama, for mama, for mama.